All right, so today we're diving into what looks like a totally chaotic day in tech news. On the surface, you've got these crazy price hikes, studio shutdowns, major AI advancements. It's a lot. But here's the thing, they're not separate stories at all. They're all connected. They're all pieces of the same giant puzzle. So let's start putting them together, shall we?
But first, a quick dose of reality. The very source we're pulling from for this explainer, it almost didn't even get published because of all this. This tells you we're not just talking about some dry news report. No, this is more like a dispatch from the front lines of the information war. It really sets the stage for just how high the stakes are in the world we're about to unpack.
Okay, first stop, the console battlefield. You've got the big three, right? Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. And what's crazy is that on this one single day, each of them basically showed their hand, revealing three totally different game plans for the future of gaming. Let's just start with a number. Take a look at this, $899.99. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about a down payment on a car here, or even a crazy high-end laptop. Nope. This is for one piece of gaming hardware. So the question is, what on earth could possibly cost this much in 2026? Any guesses?
Yep, you're looking at the new price tag for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, Sony's official reason? Oh, they're blaming global inflation, chip shortages, the usual suspects. But the analysis we're looking at points to something a lot more strategic. This feels like a very deliberate move, like they're testing the waters to see exactly how far they can push their most die-hard fans. And this is where you really see the split in strategy, right? You've got Sony over here going for this super elite pricing. They're trying to squeeze every last dollar out of their most dedicated players. The source even says they might be using AI to tweak prices on the fly in the digital store. Then you have Microsoft on the complete opposite side. They're playing the long game. They're actually listening to what people are saying, fixing annoying stuff that's been broken for ages, and just doubling down on making sure their huge Game Pass audience feels like they're getting a ton of value for their money.
And then there's Nintendo. So while Sony and Microsoft are duking it out over price tags and features, Nintendo does what Nintendo does best. They pull a classic move. Out of nowhere, they drop this huge, totally free update for an old favorite, Mario Kart World. Think about it. Their play isn't about selling you something right now. Not at all. It's about keeping the millions of people who already own a Switch happy and playing. That way, the second they finally announce the Switch 2, they have this massive, fired-up audience just waiting for it.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit, because on the very same day, another massive shift was happening. And it's all about AI. But here's the catch. This isn't just one story. It's really a tale of two completely different AIs. You've got one that's genuinely threatening creative jobs, and another that's promising to kickstart a whole new tech revolution.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter, a question pulled right from the source. With companies rushing headfirst into AI, are they sacrificing soul for the sake of profit margins? You have to wonder, what are we losing in this race to automate everything? It really puts a human face on this whole tech arms race.
And here's the peril side of that coin in action. Word on the street is that the studio behind a huge upcoming medieval game, well, they allegedly fired their human translation team and just replaced them with AI to cut costs. Now, for a game that's all about historical accuracy, cultural details, and, subtle humor, can a machine really get that right? Can an algorithm actually capture the soul of something like that? I mean, really.
So on one hand, you have creative jobs on the chopping block. But on the other hand, you have this. Just look at this number. $295 million. This isn't a game's budget. This is a massive injection of cash straight into the guts of AI infrastructure. That's the kind of money that doesn't just change an industry. It literally builds a new one from the ground up, like overnight.
And what's fascinating is where this money is going. Foxconn is pouring it into Texas to build out high-end AI servers. From a global politics standpoint, yeah, this is about becoming less dependent on Asian supply chains. But what does it mean for you? Well, this could mean that the cost of cloud computing drops by a lot, like 25%. That makes everything from your streaming services to all those new AI tools cheaper for everyone. So there you have it, promise and peril, right next to each other.
So we've talked about AI creating new possibilities, but now we gotta talk about digital worlds that are, well, collapsing. Our next piece of this puzzle is a real gut punch. It's a warning about these live service games, the ones we pour hundreds of hours and, let's be honest, a lot of money into.
Check out this number,
150 million. That's how many people registered for the social VR platform Rec Room. For 10 years, this place was a huge deal, a pioneer where people could build and share their own games. I mean, by any standard, that is a massive success story.
And then, poof, it's gone. On June 1st, 2026, the servers are just shutting down. For good. Everything people built, all those communities, all those memories, they're just going to vanish into thin air. The source we're looking at calls this a brutal market correction and makes a really scary point. If a platform this big couldn't make it, then what does that say about the whole always online model? It makes you think the whole thing is built on shaky ground. And it's a cold, hard reminder of what it really means to own something in the digital world.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got an insane price hike, creative jobs getting replaced by AI, and a digital universe with 150 million people just blinking out of existence. It's a lot. It's chaos. So how do you even begin to process all of this? Well, the source actually wraps up with a pretty solid survival guide for how to deal with this new reality.
So here it is, your playbook for staying ahead of the game. First up, be a conscious consumer. That $900 price tag, it's not just a number, it's a test. They're seeing what you'll put up with. So you really got to think about what you're supporting when you buy in. Second, try not to get too emotionally invested in these digital platforms. I know, it's hard, but when a place like Rec Room disappears, it's not a personal attack, it's just business, a harsh market reality. And number 3, and this is the big one, just stay informed. Knowing what's coming is honestly your best weapon.
And really, that's the bottom line here. In a world with wild price swings and platforms that can vanish overnight, being in the know isn't just power, it's your armor. It's what makes you bulletproof against this stuff. And honestly, that's why we do this. We're going to keep decoding this matrix for you, no matter how crazy it gets.